Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular View. This is the Royal Rumble predictions. As you know, big day today in some people's eyes, the second biggest pay-per-view premium live event of the year. Really a SummerSlam, but Royal Rumble is the third place, whatever you want to say. But it's big because it's the beginning on the road to WrestleMania. Speaking of the road to WrestleMania, we have some people on the road here, but I am not here alone. We have El Lobo Solo, Vic, as well as Mike Knox. Gentlemen, how are you this afternoon, depending on where you are? Um, Early afternoon. It just turned 12 here, but I understand it's 1 o'clock over in New York and Florida. How y'all doing tonight for today?
I am doing just fine, and it is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, not SummerSlam. I'll let it stay there.
There's 2 seasons WWE rights for. There's the WrestleMania season and there's a SummerSlam season.
But you couldn't have the one season, which is the biggest of them all, without this. This is the one that you dive into as a fan. You stay away from the hashtag death to the dirt sheets. You leave all the prima donnas that want to be cadences, the underworlds alones, and you dive back into when you was a child and you watch it with rose-colored lenses and enjoy the product. And if you don't like it, then you bitch after WrestleMania. But tonight, we get to be kids again. And I love this. Is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Like WrestleMania is the biggest, but this is my favorite pay-per-view of the year because it starts off everything.
That's right.
I know it's a lot of people's favorite. It's definitely still my third favorite because I got to go in order with WWE likes WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then the Royal Rumble. But we are here to talk about the Royal Rumble. We're here our predictions. We're some possible spoilers. We're going to talk about it. Dennis Gonzalez Jones, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Royal Rumble is looking quite interesting. You know, that's depending on the eyes of the beholder. I know some people said it has a lackluster build. I think right now they're actually hitting on very poignant cylinders, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Actually, let's dive right into it. The first match we're going to talk about, in my opinion, is going to be the opening match. It's going to be for the Raw Women's Championship, and that is one Bianca Belair defending her title against Alexa Bliss. Vic, we'll start off with you and your predictions for this match. Who you think is going to walk out with that world title?
Well, no, I think this match is more about storytelling with Alexa Bliss. Therefore, clearly Bianca Belair is going to walk out and continue on to WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss is just, she's being the female Bray Wyatt, and she'll probably get into a little feud with Bianca Belair. They'll probably doing a program of 2, maybe 3 matches, something like that, so that you can see a little bit more as to what Alexa Bliss is turning into. But I certainly see a hard hitting match, but I definitely don't see Bianca Belair dropping that belt.
El Lobo Solo, you looking for Alexa Bliss?
I'm looking for some fucking gas, but listen, this pay-per-view, you said it's one of your favorites. It's my 13th favorite pay-per-view of the year. It's very exciting. The build is great. Everybody needs to shut their fucking mouth when it comes to criticizing the build of the WWE. You probably want little midgets like Sami Zayn to win, but whatever. Bianca is going to win. Nobody wants pancakes tonight.
El Lobo Solo, I see you're actually joining us with the mask off, but I hear you. Sound like you're in
the mask is always on, Chris. You know this.
The mask is on because you have an extra beard. But it's nice to see you. It sounds like you're in San Antonio, but you're not. Okay. Mike
right.
Knox.
Me and Jose Lothario, we are lighting it up over here.
That's terrible because I think Jose is fast.
Listen, live here from San Antonio, I'll tell you this much. I don't like this picture. I didn't even know it was Bianca Belair for a second. I just think that's horrible. And this is WWE. Don't do that. I'm just going to point that out. When I saw the picture, I didn't like that picture of Bianca Belair. She's way too pretty for that picture. That's not how that girl looks. She's not that thin. I don't know where that came from. But this match, Vic, you said hard hitting. I hate these two together. I love Alexa Bliss. I love the John Cena of professional wrestling right now, and Miss Bianca Belair with her ponytail. But this, there's no ability for me in this. So this is, like you said, all entertainment. And this is where you get to see, can Bianca rise to that entertainment level? We know she got in the ring. Can she do this portion of it? The company like this, you can do that. Will she do it? But she's definitely going to win this match because there's more storyline to go on in this match, way more than this. I want this program to be over. This build with Bray Wyatt has been too slow, too long, and everything else going. Get this party started. It doesn't take this long to roll a J. XL Lobo Solo. So, EC.
I will say this build has been a long time coming. As a matter of fact, the last time I was in New York visiting these two gentlemen to my right was when Bray Wyatt returned. Here we are about 3 months later, and he's still just having his first match on air. So it's definitely been a slow build. Alexa Bliss, however, cannot look weak when she takes this L because she's going to take this L. I predict she's going to dominate this entire matchup, and something tricky is going to happen, which will prevent Bianca Belair from losing this match, and then Alexa Bliss is going to have to fight her inner demons because I'm not sure exactly where they're going. But considering Uncle Howdy is on Raw and SmackDown messing with these two, there has to be some kind of end anyway, because the way Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt ended, there wasn't any kind of as much as I always say this about Bray Wyatt's feuds, there wasn't any kind of good. It was anticlimactic at the end. So I'm interested to see where they're going, but Alexa Bliss has to look strong in her loss, but she will lose because Bianca Belair is walking into WrestleMania with that Women's Championship.
If I could blind tag 1 second on something you pointed out there about the Bray Wyatt infuse don't end that well, I think that's a matter of perception, and the overall consensus would be you're correct, right? But I think him and Cena ended great to me, and that might just be one of the few, right? And if they didn't do that horrible ring stuff that they did at WrestleMania in Orlando, that wasn't so bad. But they did that, so we got to count that as being over from. But I did like the one with Cena. I wanted to point that one out. That's all. But we do
one with Cena, and I agree. I agree with you 100%.
When he left the last time. I'm glad they're getting that chemistry back together. Go ahead.
I agree with you 100% when you said the Cena one. Actually, if I could try to bring up one to disprove my theory, I would bring up the Cena one. They had a great last man standing match to end that feud. However, at the same time, that was back when Bray just really first started, as Bray Wyatt ended WWE back in 2014, 13 going into 14. So since then, if that's the only one that you can really think of off the top of your head, you try to bring up the Randy Orton one, which I feel like that should have ended better. But like I said, I always just feel like his ends are not exactly as good as the build.
That's also my favorite build of his anyway, by the way, too.
With the Cena?
Oh no, Orton and that fruit build.
Oh yeah, that was very well
That's
done.
The greatest picture in wrestling history, in my opinion. It burned the fire. when he burnt Sister Abigail him up, that's goated to me. And legend killer things, but we got much more to talk about today. What we got?
Let me explain before we move to this extra one. I want to read this comment right here. Alexa Bliss walks out as a new champion. I don't think it's going to happen. However, I will say this, and this is not just me backtracking. Do not be surprised if Alexa Bliss does not walk. I'm sorry. Do not be surprised if Alexa Bliss walks out as the women's champion, simply because, like I said, she really needs to look strong. And I'm not sure you know how to make her lose and still make her look strong.
That makes sense. That will definitely make her look strong if they give her the belt. That'll definitely make her heelness top notch.
I hate to be the smart guy. Go ahead.
Nobody with pancakes for flapjacks is going to, even with the championship, look strong. It never happened.
Well,
first of all, putting people like her flapjacks, okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay,
that's debatable.
That's debatable.
Those guys probably watch AEW too.
You're probably correct on that knowledge.
Let's go to the next match. Bray Wyatt in the first ever pitch black match. Bray Wyatt versus L.A. Knight. We don't know anything about the rules of the match that we're supposed to start as hell. Let me talk to you. I'll say this about this match. I think that it is really, this feud has done wonders for L.A. Knight and making him transition well into the main roster where he actually seems like a big deal. I think it's actually hurting him more than helping Bray Wyatt. But I'll talk more about our predictions after Lobo Solo talks to you about who he believes is going to go into this match and pick up the W.
Listen, Christopher, I agree with you 100%. This LA Knight guy, he is a superstar, and he is making a name for himself in this feud. I mean, he's not going to fucking win tonight. He's gonna lose. He's gonna take a big L, but he looks good. He looks entertaining. He got people chanting. And you know what is wild about this match is I've never watched a piss black match. So it's going. I don't know what a piss. Do they piss black on each other? I don't understand.
The lights are going to go off. I think it's the modern day blindfold match.
What does this have to do with Pitt?
It's not. It's not Pitt. It's Pitch.
You said it's a Pitt.
I go before Vic real fast as we talk about this pitch black match, and I think this is why Alexa Bliss will not walk out with the title, and I would be surprised, although I get the understanding of how it could make her look strong, but flapjacks aside, Bray Wyatt hasn't gotten that over yet, and if this is his stable, she can't win that belt first. Okay, this is this man's first significant match, and unfortunately, he's doing a good job, at least that guy is. Okay, so I think Bray needs to stay out tonight. I'm afraid this match is going to be one of the things that I hope I get to say I enjoy it, because having no knowledge about this match, yeah, we know Bray's going to win, but this is one of the most. This is why some people say it has had a slow, lackluster build to a Royal Rumble, and I would agree with that. It's kind of been all over the place with the changes, everything's going on. But again, it's WrestleMania season, so I'm here for what they show me tonight. But Vic,
well, okay. Number one, Royal Rumble is old enough. Yeah, Royal Rumble is old enough where people are going to watch regardless. Number one. Number two. WWE is one of the only products where they have the ability to troll the fans. Like, nobody else really has the ability to do that. That's right. Outside of WWE, right? So, since that's the case, I one thing that I see here is that they're putting a lot of focus into the Royal Rumble and also a lot of focus into Bray Wyatt's whole thing. However, the fact that Cody Rhodes is even in the Rumble and not a surprise also takes away from the fact that he's just not a big deal, so he might not win. Therefore, the entire show is surrounded around Bray Wyatt and his faction and the Royal Rumble. So I see an enormous amount of surprises coming out tonight. I have a feeling that this Rumble is going to be very memorable. It's going to come out. There's going to be a whole bunch of different things going on. Because, like you said, there isn't a big build. So everybody's just on the top of their head with a question mark. Like, all right, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Tonight, by the end of the night, I got a feeling we're going to walk out of this like, yo, that was fire. I got a real feeling that that's going to happen. However, at the same time, Vince just came back.
So he's not back. He's not a
gorilla.
The guy
has influence, then who knows? You know what I mean? But I got a feeling that by the end of the night. But look, the bottom line is we're all going into this like, all right, what's gonna happen? There's asses in seats, ladies and gentlemen.
EC, bring us home.
You know, I totally disagree. I don't think I'm going to say this is fire. I think this match. I'm going to say this is stupid. Don't ever do it again.
No, he said Royal Rumble, not the match.
Like, yo, why are we getting that over? Like, is that really getting over that thing? Seriously,
it's really getting over.
I like it, but
really, like,
I like it, but I'm tired of seeing it. But it's really good angle they got here going with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. I'm interested. I'm invested. It needs to be the next chapter. It needs to end, number one. And it needs to be the next chapter of Bray Wyatt going to something else so we can get that next level, that next layer. Because, like I said, I feel like he's losing a lot of steam. We went from people predicting Bray Wyatt was going to be the one to beat Roman Reigns to now I can't see Bray Wyatt even in the same orbit as the Tribal Chief, only because they'll keep rolling from that. It's kind of like the Karrion Kross effect. When Karrion Kross came back, everybody was like, oh, he might do it. They might split one of the titles and give it to Karrion Kross. Now he's losing cleanly to Rey Mysterio and just looking like a fool. So I just hope that LA Knight's able to recover after this loss, and he can take what he has, the momentum he did get, and go into a next feud and actually win it. And we'll see what happens with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy and Alexa Bliss. Next match we want to talk about is for the WWE.
Read this comment real fast.
Gimmick matches really work. Remember the zombie lumberjack match? People did not forget WWE for a couple months for that. I did not, because they had the Miz in there. But a lot of their gimmick matches. But if they didn't take the gamble of gimmick matches, you know the deal, they would not have, say, Royal Rumble. They would not have the Hell in a Cell match. They would not have the Elimination Chamber match. So they have to go ahead and do some of these gimmick matches, but and just roll the dice and see where it goes, see if it does work. And they've had some gems and they had a lot of stinkers, and I just feel like this is going to be a stinker.
Wait a minute. What was that match that Bray Wyatt had with Braun Strowman a long time ago? That was like
yeah, that was a what do you call it? I forgot what your cinematic match though.
I got a
forgot.
feeling that's one of these things are, because look,
They're not being in this damn arena.
the Undertaker cinematic match was good, and the thing that they had that I mean I'm talking about during the COVID era, so like
Right.
they might continue some of those things.
No, I like
Yeah.
cinematic matches. I think they can work, just not Royal Rumble with his first match being back. Absolutely, hell no.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
That's all.
Right, because they
do
had the thing with the New Day, right? The New Day and the Wyatt family, they had a match that was kind of like the Hardy Compound match.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like in their compound thing. Yeah.
Sometimes
Which I
those
liked.
matches work. Sometimes they work.
No, I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like
can
I
do
said,
that.
sometimes you do something though.
I think it helps Sting out. I think that's how we fans ultimately get a Sting taker. That's the only way I think that match could work.
You know what though? One thing that I do love about this build is the way that they involve Taker. Just that whole situation was just like, what the hell did Taker say to him? What's gonna happen?
Yeah, they built too much into that. They want to take her on the show. They gave him that little spot to rub Bray Wyatt.
I mean, no.
And then he whispered something personal in the ear, and everybody wants to know.
Who's the new
You know what he said to him?
Let's be real.
I got a copy from the black girl because she said it first. Black girl match. She said, "I heard you married one of them black girls." Let me know how that is. That's what he said to him.
Happy birthday to Michelle McCool. She just turned 43. Next match we're going to talk about is for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. It is one Tribal Chief, your head of the table, Roman Reigns, defending against Kevin Owens for the second time at a Royal Rumble in 3 years. And we're going to start off with Mr. Mike Knox. Mike, your predictions for this match, sir?
I wish you didn't start with me, but you did. So this is a confusing match for me, to be honest, and because I see what you talked about, Vic, and that's having a lot of wild things happen in this Royal Rumble. I think you're absolutely right. That's why I believe anything I'm a part of, which I'm a part of Unpopular Review, which you can like, follow, subscribe, hit a little bell notification in the bottom, and share this thing right now, okay? We're not asking to buy a TV dinner. It's absolutely free, okay? Because this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. And I think what you said there is when we typically have a build like this at a Rumble, we come out of that Rumble going, oh my God. Okay. And again, I don't think it's hard to do when it's this time of year. They rarely drop the ball. So I think because it takes into what I want to happen in the Rumble, I think Kevin Owens wins. I think Sami Zayn costs him the match. And I think one of the surprises we will get will be this man getting into the Rumble. That's what I really believe. And that's maybe what I want to happen, since I can't get the guy behind me because they won't let a black man win the Royal Rumble. Because anytime we think he can do it, Brock Lesnar got to come in here and be some kind of putz and come in here because he always wants a spot. No, Brock, Bobby's better than you, except on the microphone. Okay, I digress on that part. But yeah, I think for all that, when I first became, I've been a Roman Reigns fan forever, but that Tribal Chief thing, that SmackDown beatdown, I talk about all the time, Chris, when he said, I put the food on the table. And he was calling the camera over, and I take it off. And he looked at the camera and said, have a nice night. And he walked off and smacked the camera. KO, because it doesn't matter, right? Everybody's whole Death to Dirt Sheets things is they got to put these titles up between them and the Usos, right? So how do you not do it? You make it a very unexpected thing, but you put him in the Rumble to get his belt back. Far-fetched, I don't know. I don't care. It's my Royal Rumble prediction.
Who's that?
Vic, on you.
Roman Reigns is Bruno Sammartino. He's Hulk Hogan. He's holding that belt for a really long time. And the reason I say that is because last night on Jimmy Kimmel, had the both belts there, blah, blah, blah. If anything, they might take one belt off of him and figure this out. What I think is going to happen in this match is just the continuance of the storyline between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn in the Bloodline. It might end up where next month you get a match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to continue to prove his whatever, right? Because we're going into Mania season, whoever wins the Royal Rumble is going to have a program with Roman next. So whatever happens tonight, I think it's just going to continue a situation between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Why? Because a Mania match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will definitely be quality and will definitely have a story. And it will just be amazing. I don't necessarily see like Kevin Owens getting into it with Stone Cold again or anything like that. But I definitely see those two probably fighting. Because I don't see Sami Zayn taking that belt from Roman, and I don't see Roman dropping the belt now at all. Maybe one, maybe the Usos start dropping things, and then then there's a because like look, I personally don't see Roman Reigns dropping any belt prior to the Usos. If that's the fall of Roman Reigns is going to come after the Usos start losing their titles or the fall of the bloodline. I definitely don't see that starting with Roman Reigns.
Listen, I was joshing y'all. It's gonna be Roman Reigns. I just trying to hide the fact that I want Rock to show up. Okay,
Speaking of Rock showing up, El Lobo Solo.
Listen, I agree with Vic wholeheartedly. The only time that Roman Reigns is dropping belts is when he's dropping drawers. And this guy, he's the champion. He's our champion. He's the best. Listen, Vince is back. And Vince doesn't like to put championships on fat guys that wear t-shirts. How you gonna put a championship? How you gonna make that your champion a guy that wear a t-shirt? You gotta take your shirt off in front of a lady, in front of a woman. If you're a man, you can't be fucking with your shirt on.
No, it's just that part of the fucking the part of being a champion is just looking the part, and you got to go do all that.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Charlotte
right.
Flair, Bianca Belair, Roman Reigns.
Are you sure you have to get? Is this for both titles or one title? It's for both titles.
All the titles.
Oh, this is for both titles. Absolutely, Roman Reigns wins. Duh. It's a stupid question. Next.
So Roman's winning this. I think we already knew what I was going to say because it's mathematics. I'm not going to talk about nobody fat. Thank you, Steve. It's so good to have Steve back.
And Lobo Solo. I'm not Steve. Lobo
Solo. Out of the way, fat shaming. But anyway, so I do believe that Roman's going to walk out with the championship simply because from a money perspective, even though they sold a lot of tickets, they can still sell more. And Roman walking into WrestleMania with the titles for somebody to try to beat him sells a lot more tickets than Roman already lost losing the titles and two other people going in. So Roman had if it's because Sami Zayn or not. I can't tell you it's going to be because of the Usos. I just know it's probably going to definitely be some shenanigans. But either way you look at it, at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is going to walk out still your Universal Champion, WWE Universal Champion. And I completely forgot about this match. And what I mean by that is that this actually is probably going to be your opening match tonight for the Royal Rumble. Now,
I agree.
Speaking of Royal Rumble, let's talk about
can you
one
play that noise? Hold on 1 second, Chris. Before you segue into the next match, I have one more joke. Can you play that noise again? The guy. You know what that sound is? That's the sound of Kevin Owens trying to get into his shirt.
The Royal Rumble match itself is what we're all here for. It's what sells the tickets for the most part. And it is for a championship, a world championship match at WrestleMania. Whether it gets main event or not, it depends on Stone Cold Steve Austin being there. But the first one we're going to talk about is for the women's Royal Rumble. 30 women in there. Most of them have been announced, but we're definitely going to get some surprises. Who do you think, Vic, is walking out of the Royal Rumble as the winner?
The women's Rhea Ripley.
Very, very astute.
Rhea Ripley. Definitely Rhea Ripley. She's getting a major push. I mean, look, her last championship run wasn't necessarily the best. I think that if she wins and then actually goes to WrestleMania and wins the championship, I think that it'll be something different because they're putting the machine behind a heel. But I think that if they do this, they will really put Judgment Day on the map. Because she really is the focal point of Judgment Day right now, honestly. Like, if it wasn't for her, I don't think Dominic would be, for lack of a better phrase, as over as a heel. You know what I mean? And I really think that she's doing a phenomenal job. You know, I mean, hats off to her because she's really one of the best in there. You know, I mean, she was great in NXT. She's really good. She's really embraced this role really well. And she deserves it. To tell you the truth, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna give it to her because she's a heel or whatever. And the Royal Rumble is a really good spot for a great baby face. You know what I'm saying? But I think she deserves it, honestly.
Lobo Solo.
I think a lot of people are going to pick Rhea Ripley. Vic just said it all, but I'm going to pick somebody else. I think somebody that is well deserving, that has not ended, and should add this to her resume of accolades, being that she is a WWE legend. And tonight you are going to witness Nikki Bella win the Royal Rumble. Nikki Bella is going to come back. I'm totally listen. I want Raquel. I think Raquel will be one of the top 4 because Raquel is Mexicana and I love the Mexicans. So listen, but let's be real. Nikki Bella after Raw 30, she goes on her machine, the Instagram, and she starts popping off. And I can see this building to a WrestleMania match versus Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte is going to stomp a mud hole into her. It's going to happen, and this is how it's going to happen. Nikki Bella wins tonight.
Nikki Bella.
Can we get a UPR spinoff on the road with El Lobo's Solo?
I said Nikki Bella wins tonight. I don't hear you clapping.
Because that's ridiculous. Mike Knotts, your prediction, please.
You're ridiculous.
No, I agree with some of the things that El Lobo Solo is saying.
You think Nikki Bella winning?
That's
no,
right.
I would like that to happen though. But I think and my prediction is Rhea Ripley, right? And I think they're writing on the wall. But I'm always cautious when everything points to something being one way. It truly never pans out that way, in my opinion. I mean, I think people always predict. Sometimes it's not. It's like maybe not at that moment, right? So I think it is her time. I think they should give it to her. I think everything Vic said as far as what her and Dom is doing. Dom is completely over, and I think she 100% aids to that. You know what I mean? Because I think next to Sami Zayn, Dominic is the best thing going on Raw, in my opinion, and that's the 2 shows that they're on. But I think Rhea Ripley does win this thing. I see some surprises coming back. And I'm hoping here maybe a Nia Jax. I think Michelle McCool shows up despite the stuff she said. I think I'd like to see somebody from NXT come up here, maybe a Starks coming up, some of those girls, and maybe for once, which you want to make something different, right? Triple H hasn't really put a stamp on anything. When has anybody from NXT ever won anything of significant on the main roster on a pay-per-view outside of the one War Games, right? They really haven't done that, right? So why not have one of these girls, Survivor Series, thank you. Why not have one of these girls from NXT come up and shock the world? Because you already got your one champion somewhere else, and Charlotte needs something. And unless I get Charlotte versus Bianca Belair, which to me is the only thing that we should have at WrestleMania, none of this stuff even matters to me. So the only next logical option is Rhea Ripley to me.
You know what? That makes sense. That's how Paige got over. She came over and pinned AJ Lee and bam. And all of a sudden everybody was like, oh shit, it's Paige.
Rhea Ripley is already over. She doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble. Nikki Bella needs to win the Royal Rumble. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? But
I think Nia Jax is going to make an appearance. We'll talk about it a little later. Who was surprised to see, but I think Rhea Ripley.
That's why I said it. I'm sorry.
I gotta go get my purple shirt then. If she coming tonight, oh shit.
I think Rhea Ripley is definitely winning this Royal Rumble tonight. I think that well, let me put it this way. Your Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania is going to be Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I've always said when people say, Chris, how do you know this thing? How do you predict anything? It's simply because WWE always tells them themselves. They always give you context clues if you pay attention. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair have been on Raw for the last God knows how long, and they barely touch. They're barely in the same orbit as each other. They barely do anything, and that's for a reason. It's the build-up. If you're an AEW fan, it's called long storytelling, long-term booking, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's what it's going to be. The only way Rhea Ripley doesn't win is if they have somebody in mind they feel like it needs to be a bigger push for one Charlotte Flair. I think if Sasha Banks came back tonight, not saying she is, so don't anybody sit here and say that's what I'm saying, she's definitely win the Royal Rumble. But I do believe and I know, and this is going to be contradicting because I just said that we're not going to talk about it till later, but I do believe you're going to see Naomi tonight. I definitely believe
I said that 3 weeks ago.
You did say that 3 weeks ago. I did not
listen to the Mike Knox show,
Yeah,
which is right here on Unpopular Review, by the way. Question from Shay Sawyer here. Question about the NXT thing. If someone did come up from NXT, which one do you think could be believable to do it? That's the thing. I don't think nobody. Only one. It's definitely no one. It's definitely no one. But if I had to pick one off the question, I would say Stark. Did I say her name right? Nikki Stark.
Nikita Lyons, and she's injured.
No, I'm not talking about Nikki Lyons. I said Nikki Starks. Zoe Stark. Sorry,
Zoe Stark. Oh hell no.
Yeah. I'm just. So
I think we'll see.
But you butchered that all up.
Yeah. So I did. If anybody's not going to be a predictable one here, see, my thing, I don't think Rhea Ripley wins because she's so over. So, like, maybe this is where Beth can get her get back, right? And she eliminates Rhea Ripley. And then you have someone like Gonzalez win.
You have to throw Rhea out. Your wild card for it is if they win, that person's going after the SmackDown World title against Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, not everybody can compete with Charlotte Flair on her level. And I mean, no offense to her attitude. That's why Sonya Deville all of a sudden out of nowhere is becoming a contender. Is the only one that's been facing Charlotte Flair because Charlotte Flair does not like working with certain people. Yeah. I'm sorry, she don't. Right? That's why they have to keep repackaging. What's her face? Ted Hunt woman. It's just is what it is.
You show her respect. She's a soldier.
No, I'll be honest with you. I
loved her last night.
Shayna Baszler win this Rumble.
Yeah, I would love it too, but she's not winning. Yeah, and also, you have to think about if somebody from NXT goes to challenge Charlotte. Charlotte not taking the L. She's going to take the W, so it's going to be almost for naught. Let's go ahead into the men's Royal Rumble.
A little bit longer right here for a second, right? Or you're going to come back to surprise and things like that. So
I ain't want to come back to surprises.
Okay.
Men's Royal Rumble, 30 men. Most of those have been announced. The big wild card. You know what? I just said it. WWE always gives you context clues. The funny thing about the Men's Royal Rumble, if you watched SmackDown last night, when Brock Lesnar announced that he was in the Royal Rumble, they popped his picture right there in the middle. We always know who they feel like the star of the company is because that person in the middle. It used to be Cody Rhodes. Then they pop up. They said, move over, Cody. Here comes Brock Lesnar. But Cody Rhodes is the favorite going into the Royal Rumble that people think. But El Lobo Solo, do you think somebody else possibly? And I swear to goodness, if you sit here and say Doink the Clown or something, we're going to fight. Who do you think is going?
No. Listen, that's ridiculous, Christopher. I would never pick Doink the Clown. Nobody likes payasos. Everybody is picking, Cody Rhodes. Everybody is picking, not the Roman Reigns, the Rock. I would love to see the Rock. He's amazing, but maybe not. Seth Rollins is a good pick. This man has been doing great work all year long. I think he's got a good shot. Sami Zayn is a guy that has been coming up very fast and very hard. And so I think he is a great candidate. He's going to be my pick tonight. Sami Zayn is going to win the Royal Rumble. That's right. Coming hard and fast.
Mike Knox.
Damn, that's a good one.
Of course it is. That's my idea. That's why Nikki Bella and Sami Zayn are going to win.
I love them both. I really like to see Bob Lashley win this thing, and that just got killed to shit on Raw 30 when Lesnar showed up. I just killed it. So again, I'm on my tangent, okay, to have a black man win the Royal Rumble. That's all I want. We got our champion. I mean, you build this guy to do all these things, and now you got me in the I don't know. And everybody, like you said, El Lobo is
But you know what? A black man might win the Royal Rumble because The Rock might win.
Well, he's won a Royal Rumble, and most black contingent, not myself in that category, like when it came to WWE title, did not count on him because they do not.
Don't say most. Don't say most.
No, but I will say most.
I would disagree with most. I think it's more of a vocal. I think that's
not you. Few. I have the floor. Okay.
There's a vocal few. You say most. That's not most.
Well, I don't want to do something live on air, but you're going to make me do it. Okay. There's 50 Shades of Black, and I'm quite sure I belong to a different side of shade than you do. That's tuned to what I'm referring to. Okay, and if you go into a lot of the black wrestling groups that are pro black wrestling, they do not. It's not that they don't count The Rock as being black. We don't count him as a black champion because the company does not show that of him. His name is Johnson, but all they show is Samoan side. Okay, so a lot of people say, "Hey, that doesn't count." I'm not one of those people, though. I do count it. That's who he is. He's black. Okay, but to continue, okay, I would like to say The Rock. Fuck it. I've been saying it for years. It's gonna be Rock and Roman at WrestleMania until I prove it wrong. It's probably happen tonight. I'm gonna stick with The Rock.
Well, all of that makes a lot of sense. Bobby Lashley makes a lot of sense. Sami Zayn makes a lot of sense. The Rock even makes a lot of sense, especially since last night Roman Reigns was talking about The Rock and saying how The Rock doesn't necessarily have the time to get into conditioning and things like that, and that might just be a troll. So now, but then at the same time, and I was thinking about this the other day, and it would be amazing if they could pull this off logistically. I don't know if they could, but Bad Bunny, I think it's perfect time. If they were able to do it, either Bad Bunny or Logan Paul, because mind you, look, the match between Logan Paul and Roman Reigns went a lot further than it, people thought it would. And Roman Reigns has gotten really good at making people look good, right? So now a match between Bad Bunny and Roman Reigns would fill up that stadium right away. You know what I mean?
I'm
like
sorry,
that
a
whole
match between
Bad Bunny and Roman Reigns. Like if Bad Bunny, Bad Bunny joins the Royal Rumble and wins it.
No,
like,
I don't disagree with you on that. It just,
I think it would be awesome if they did that. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Most likely, Lashley. I think Lashley. And the reason I say that
even
is because
with what happened with Lesnar, because that just
even with that, no, I think that might can continue, but I still have a feeling it could be Lashley because the thing is just that the clock is ticking, and mind you, Lashley is a testament to somebody that can go. Lashley and R-Truth, God bless them. But the reality is just that his opportunities are not going to be there much longer. So I think that Lashley is probably the best choice, and he deserves it. He really does. Like, all right, who else in the company can say that they were an ECW champion? Nobody. So like this guy really, really deserves it. So yeah, he definitely. But the problem with Bobby Lashley is just that he ain't got the mic skills. You know what I mean? But when you put MVP with him again, oh, that's a wrap.
EC, before you go with what he's going to say, I'm not going to talk here. Just ask a question with this one because you didn't answer it. Does Roman take both belts in the Mania, and does the Royal Rumble affect that? Because if that happens with Lashley, then I don't think Roman with Brock, somebody's going to take a belt for him. I don't see if you know what I mean. Just finish that statement or where I'm going with it.
No, me or Vic?
You. Because you're up next.
Oh, okay. Well, Roman walks into WrestleMania with both titles.
Okay.
Let me just go ahead and put down some crisp predictions, and actually, I'm going to solidify them. You can take these to the bank. one, Rock's not there tonight. Get off the Rock. It's not happening. Okay.
I'm never going to get off the Rock.
It's not happening. Oh. 2, Bobby Lashley's not winning. Let's throw that out there. Also, he's not winning. Does he deserve it? I agree with Vic. I think he does deserve it. But I think the whole purpose is somewhat what Mike was alluding to. Brock Lesnar coming back, that cancels it out. That's the program. It's Brock versus Bobby, which we've been wanting for a while anyway. And now we need to have the Royal Rumble.
It's true.
So you're going to say Cody,
right? So Bobby and Brock are there. Brock announced it. Everybody's going to think Brock is no. They're there to eliminate each other. Right? They're going to do the old double elimination so they can sit there and fight.
That makes
exactly.
sense.
They cancel each other out, right? Your winner is either going to be Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. That's your winners right there. Cody Rhodes or Seth Rollins. I don't think it's Cody. I'm leaning towards Seth, and here's the reason why. Cody's momentum. I don't care if he's coming back. And I know everybody gets that return pop. Cody's momentum staled when he got injured. They appreciated what he did. They loved him when he came back, but it staled. When he left, Seth was a heel, right? Seth right now is one of the most over baby faces in the WWE. All because of Citrus music and its work. But he's one of the most over wrestlers in WWE. And believably, can defeat Roman Reigns.
Facts.
I
said
don't particularly want to see it happen, but if you're not able to get The Rock, which they were not able to get The Rock, and you really
Who
look at
said
that
that?
roster, right,
Where's it at? Where's it say it's not there? I'm sorry, having a nervous break.
and you really need to put somebody in there against Roman Reigns, like I said, Bobby Lashley can do it, but Bobby's in that program with Brock. That's the only person Brock's willing to work with right now. You got to go with Seth Rollins. I said this before. I believe it now. You can do a double thing, a la Bret Hart, Lex Luger, where Seth and Cody can eliminate each other. And then one night, one goes after the Universal Championship, and the other night, somebody goes after the WWE title. You have Roman on both nights, sells out both nights.
Easy.
Hold up, is that what happened when Shawn Michaels beat? Is that what happened at that Rumble when Shawn Michaels beat Sid Vicious? Was that the Rumble that happened?
No, we're talking about Luger.
No,
and,
but that
and Bret Hart.
that was 20 years ago. Was that Luger and Hart that both fell out at the same time? That was
Yeah, that was in '94.
in the
And
same.
that was almost 30 years ago.
WrestleMania
That was
10.
almost 30 years ago.
That was also in the Alamo Dome, right?
Mm-mm. No, you're talking about the Royal Rumble Alamo Dome in 1997, where Stone Cold Steve Austin won after he was
I'm
eliminated.
sorry.
and came right back.
Dennis, what facts? What
But
facts?
who won that Rumble? Who won that Rumble where Shawn Michaels
Curious.
fought Sid Vicious?
Was Shawn Michaels fought Psycho Sid?
Yes,
think-
yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, that was the first one.
That was the first one he won.
Okay, bet.
So, no
Bet,
facts.
bet. Oh yeah, because then he went to go fight. Okay, yeah.
Right.
That's the DX and
Well, he fought Bret Hart. That winner of the Royal Rumble was disputed, so they had a fatal four-way at the next pay-per-view, which Bret Hart won. Then he lost to Psycho Sid the next day, and then Psycho Sid fought The Undertaker, WrestleMania 13 Chicago. That's another story. Anyway, that's my prediction. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I picked Seth Rollins in the group chat because I'm going to switch it. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes are going to win it at the same time. That's my prediction for the Royal Rumble. As far as surprises, men-wise, I think you are going to see Logan Paul. I don't think you're going to see Bad Bunny, though. But I do believe you are going to see Logan Paul. Huh?
His injury back already from that?
His injury is supposed to be another 2 months, but I think he's ahead of schedule. That's why he hasn't really talked that much or made a lot of noise.
Okay.
I think they did that on purpose so he can make a surprise appearance. I would love, I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see Big E, but I don't think you're going to see Big E. I think he's still losing.
It's too soon. I think Big E is.
Wait, now what's going on with E? Because I've seen him in pictures with the New Day running around
Well,
at
pictures
the
are pictures.
Australian Omen.
Yeah, because he's able to move around, but he's not clear to
Right.
wrestle. And I was hoping he would, because I think he would be a viable choice if he actually came back. I think his pop and momentum is huge to do it, but it's not going to happen. Now, I know a lot of people say Sami Zayn. I wouldn't mind seeing Sami Zayn win. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. WrestleMania, I think, make that work. But at the same time, what they've really been trying to work on is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking those titles off the Usos, and I just think that's the more believable storyline. As far as I think they deserve it more too.
We get Riddle back
Be
tonight.
the ones to take those tag team titles. I think I would do it. I would do it. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Did we get
So
Riddle
that's the
back
route I would
tonight
take.
or Orton back tonight?
I don't think you're going to see Riddle, and I don't think you're going to see Orton.
Okay. So,
But if you do see Randy Orton, that is a game changer.
yeah.
There's no
If
that.
Orton,
Riddle, no.
if Orton's back, he could win and you couldn't beat. I mean,
That is true.
Because he was the one that got injured at the hands of the Bloodline, so that's an easy fix in there. I think Randy comes back and then he has a program with Riddle first, but I do see Edge. Yes, that's a surprise. Edge is back. Edge is back tonight. He's going to be the one to throw away Finn Balor.
That makes sense.
Okay, I got one.
Matter of fact, I'm going to change my pick from Rhea. You're right. You know what, Mike? I think Mike made it make sense. Mike made it make sense. It's not going to be Rhea. Rhea's going to get eliminated by Beth Phoenix, and Edge is going to eliminate Finn Balor. So you're right. So I got to change my women's pick for the Royal Rumble.
Beth Phoenix is in the Rumble then. Yeah.
What?
I have to change my pick.
Straight after Rhea
So
Ripley.
we get Switchblade Jay White tonight. That's the heavy dirt sheet rumor.
No.
Okay. So no outside people in the Men Royal Rumble as far as men are concerned that from another company. Any NXT guys?
No.
Braun Breaker comes up.
Braun Breaker is the only person in NXT I can see possibly making it. I know some people say Mello. I don't think, because it's always about aesthetics. It is always about what's going to be appealing. How many people right now will really give a pop to Mello? So how many people right now will really give a pop
to Braun either?
I think you know who I think will get a pop? You know who I think will get a pop? Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes, I think will get a pop.
I wouldn't waste that spot. I wouldn't waste that spot for an NXT superstar right now. I wouldn't do it.
So to the women's side, we both said Nia Jax. That's my hopeful.
I think Nia Jax is there. And I think Naomi.
Naomi, when they, like you said, and I mentioned where I got it from as well, that package, right? They give things away in their video packages. They don't show you if you don't work for them. They just don't do it. So when they showed her, her thing with Naomi, we knew that was her coming, potentially her coming back. We don't know for sure. Because I don't know for sure. I don't have no depth to dirt sheet.
I will be so super excited. Now, the only problem with Naomi coming back to Royal Rumble is she makes a lot of returns at Royal Rumbles. I was watching some 4-1s, and she's done it like 2 or 3 times. But I will be losing my crap if I see her.
Go back.
Once again, I don't think it's going to happen, but if Sasha Banks made a return tonight, once again, I'm not saying it's happening. I know 80% sure it's not happening, but if she does show up, just a what if, and I don't like what ifs, it'll be just like when Brock Lesnar came back at SummerSlam 2021 for me. That's how I'll be jumping up and down if I saw Sasha Banks.
If Sasha Banks does show up tonight, how about this? You're 80% sure or 90% sure no Rock? Just go ahead and break them down.
I am 100% sure there's no Rock. I'm guaranteed there's no Rock.
Well, first of all, I love you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fuck you. Second, Sasha Banks. I'm saying it right now. If I don't get Rock, we need Sasha Banks to show up tonight because that's the only biggest thing that could blow the roof off this pay-per-view with no Rock. I'm just being real. I don't think there could be Royal Rumble's about surprises as much as starting those storylines down the road. That's the 2 things they're for. If you don't got Rock, if you don't have the real tribal chief come to challenge the intern tribal chief, blood versus blood, then give me Sasha Banks back. And I think,
but wait a minute. If she would have come back, it would only make sense for her to be Mercedes Moné.
And she could do that. That could be one of the
I mean, if that's
new Triple H things that he did.
No,
that could be one of the caveats about her coming back. Hey, I'll come back, but I have to own my name. The problem is people want to see her as Sasha. I no disrespect to you, Mercedes, but you're Sasha Banks.
Yeah, like that's the only
why
thing
I like being a wrestling fan.
Would make sense. But then the other thing is that she's not necessarily established as Mercedes Moné yet. Like she showed up,
which is why. But I don't see her coming back. But
yeah, I don't.
But what do you think is going to happen tonight at the Royal Rumble, ladies and gentlemen? Folks, let us know in the comments. I'm glad you tuned in. Please make sure that you watch our post show, which will be coming up soon after the Royal Rumble. I think probably in the night. So tune into us. Make sure you follow our social media for El Lobo Solo, who I think got ran over by the cops or something. For Vic, for Mike Knox, I'm the executive consultant. We will see you right here next time at Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.